Hello everyone, xForts here, and welcome to the results of the 100,000 subscriber stand contest. By the end of the contest, we had over 2,600 submissions. So myself and a few of my close friends went through all of the submissions. We read every single one. I really wanted to do all of them myself, but 2,600 was just so many. But for the most part, I myself probably read, I want to say 1,500 stands. So if we say that there's over 2,600 submissions, which there was a 300 word limit, and some people wrote 300 words, some people wrote less. So if we take the average being 200 words, multiply that by 2,600, that's roughly around 500,000 words. And a average novel is around 8,000 to 100,000 words. So me and my friends together, within the past week, read 5 entire books, maybe even more than that. So it was crazy, but it was really awesome reading all of your guys' submissions. Thank you to everyone that participated. This was such a fun event. It really showed all the creativity and beautiful artwork from the community, and I'd love to do something like this again at 200,000 subscribers. But let's get into this. We have the results. We're going to start off with these third, second, and first place winners, which were in my hands right now. And then we're going to look at some honorable mentions. There's 9 more stands right here that it was so hard to break down 3 winners out of 2,600 plus stands. It was just so difficult, but so we read through all of them and we highlighted the ones that we thought were good, or all of them were good, but the ones that we liked the most we highlighted, and then we ended up having around 85 highlighted stands, and then I had to go through and select 3 winners out of the 85 highlighted. So I have 9 here that were just so close to call. Any one of these could have been winners, but for some reason, just on this day, these 3 were calling to me. And again, this contest is all about my opinion and everything, just what I thought was most creative, what I thought was most realistic to see in the world of JoJo, and what I just liked the most. So again, it's just, it doesn't really come down to skill or anything like that. It was just a fun contest, and the winners are honestly almost random, but the people that submitted these are very creative and really knew how to create an original stand. So let's get into it, starting with the third place winner, who is going to receive a $25 Amazon gift card. We have a stand submitted by Hugo Dante. The stand is called New World Man. Slightly similar to Adam Hart Father, New World Man uses a cell phone camera to take pictures and captures someone in that photo. However, the capture resembles Enigma, as instead of remaining in a physical dimension, the person captured becomes a JPEG file saved onto the phone. This file can be hidden within a maze of subdirectories, and trapped images will release upon opening. So I like that he mixed 2 stands together. There were a few submissions like this, but they seemed to just be really crazy and really powerful. But this stand right here took 2 abilities that we've seen before and mixed them together in a really creative way. So the user has a cell phone that can take a picture of something and hide it within a JPEG file. For example, if you guys remember in the Enigma arc, Enigma's user trapped a gun inside a piece of paper. When Josuke opened it, the gun fired at him. So similar to like this, with New World Man, the user could take a picture of a gun, and then if its target was going through the phone and they opened up that JPEG file, the phone could attack them. But again, it's like Adam Hart Father, where it can trap people inside JPEG images and sort of like really get them stuck in there by like putting them inside file, inside file, inside file, and just massive subdirectories. So more on its ability that traps objects inside of things. This can include things such as firing a gun, electricity, or even a steamroller. The user can simply take a picture of an object in order to digitalize it into a JPEG. However, to capture a person, that person has to be holding the phone, whether it's taken by his or herself. However, the user has creative liberties using a photo timer or mirrors or reflective surfaces to get results. Attempting to use a stand when captured within the photo, so if you're under the effect of the stand and you try to break out using your stand, it will result in artifacting, which will inflict damage on the captured person. A file containing a person cannot simply be deleted. However, a file containing an object can, proving to be very effective at destroying evidence or for other uses. This ability is not limited to one cell phone. However, New World Man must first touch the phone to activate the ability. So that was the stand New World Man submitted by Hugo Dante, and of course I'm showing the artwork on screen. A really amazing design for this stand. I thought it was super creative. How the front of the face is sort of a camera lens, and then on each side it has like sort of a doe's face with antlers. It was just Really awesome looking design. I'm sure none of you guys can disagree with that. So congratulations to Hugo Dante on the 3rd place for the OC stand contest. I'll email you back as soon as I'm done making this video and we'll get you your prize. So now moving on to the 2nd place winner, we have the stand Halfway submitted by SaltyJub. Halfway is a stand that is much more on the abstract realm of stands, and it was really creative, and I didn't think it was too overpowered. And when you get really abstract with stands that have really like absolute abilities that sort of can mess with reality, the explanations can get really long and it can be really hard to understand what the stand actually does and what its limitations are. But Halfway, I think, is a perfect example of a reality bending stand that fits JoJo really well. So getting into it, Halfway stand users are Fergio the human and Will.i.am the horse. I remember in their submission they talked about how they always enjoyed the animal stand users. You know, we had a rat, we had a dog, we had a bird, but Steel Ball Run was a part that focused really heavily on the animals within the part, the horses, but we never saw a horse that was a stand user. So I didn't even think of that before, but now it's like, wow, we should have seen a horse stand user. So Halfway is a stand that is shared between the user and the horse, you know, because they have such a strong connection between the two. So let's get on to the description and ability of Halfway. Halfway, like I mentioned, is a stand shared between a horse and a rider. Like most animals with stands, they gain certain human-like traits. The rider and horse are forever connected by fate. Now for Halfway's ability. This monstrous stand has the passive ability to allow red strains to be visible. These are the strains mentioned within the strain theory, the idea that everything is connected somehow. And this is represented by invisible strains connecting people, objects, and the like. Halfway stand users and the manifestation of the stand may pull, tighten, loosen, sever, and reattach red strains to certain things, effectively manipulating their fate to interact properly. This ability is often perceived as incredible luck befalling to both horse and rider, as well as incredible poor luck to the others. For example, to sever the red strain between a bullet and its target before they interact, so it can change the fate of the bullet. The bullet is fired, it's destined to hit me. The stand really quickly can either sever the strain that's attached to the red bullet and myself in order to make that fate not happen. As for some limitations, Halfway cannot create red strains, only manipulate them. They must be within 10 meters of the target to do so. Red strains can create spontaneously, and thus the stand must act quickly, and must be aware of the red strains it wishes to manipulate. If Halfway has attached a strain to something, it may effectively attach the strain to itself, and thus track down the object or person. To those with true good luck on their side, even fate may change, and twist up the strains. Other stand users within 10 meters of either stand users, both the horse and the rider, may see the manipulated red strains as well, as the duo has learned a lot of tricks to creatively hide the strains properly. So that was Halfway. Like I said, a really abstract stand. So of course they provided beautiful artwork. It just so happened that the top 3 winners all provided artwork, but trust me, out of the 85 selected stands that were all potential winners, I want to say about half of them didn't include artwork, so that really didn't influence my pick on which ones were best or not. So Halfway, it just creates red strains on everything and allows the users to see what is going to happen in that person's fate. And of course, like I mentioned, they can change the fate to make things lucky, then lucky and unlucky. So I just thought that this was a really cool ability, and it wasn't too complicated, but of course it wasn't too simple either. And I just really like this one. So this is the 2nd place winner, Halfway, and you are going to be receiving your prize of a $25 Amazon gift card. Again, after I make this video, I will email you back. So congratulations to SaltyJub on their stand Halfway. Art was amazing, ability was amazing. I really love this one, and I could really see it being used in Steel Ball Run. And no one else had a stand like that where it connected a horse and a rider, so I thought that was extremely unique, and I really like that stand. Thank you very much for your submission, and congratulations. But now, getting on to the number 1, the 1st place winner of the stand contest. So guys, our 1st place winner of the stand contest, who will be receiving a $50 Amazon gift card, as well as both of the JoJo Blu-rays, Season 1 of Stardust Crusaders and all of Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency on Blu-ray. Both of these, plus a $50 Amazon gift card, is going to be the stand Mississippi Queen, submitted by Jesse Quast. The stand's name is in reference to the song Mississippi Queen by Mountain. The stand user is Ray Lane, referencing Corky Lane, the drummer of Mountain, and David Ray, the producer of Mountain. Stand stats: power none, speed B, range A, durability D, precision B, and developmental potential B. So let's get right into the ability now. It's an automatic stand ability that locks onto a target touched by the user. The stand will only appear to the target, and the target will feel an irresistible urge to follow it. The stand will lead the target to unlikely situations, increasing misfortune and danger. These events are unavoidable by the target and will continue to increase in danger until the stand user is either defeated or withdrawn. The stand isolates and captivates its target, and in the end makes the target lose everything for it. The fight would probably turn out to be a chase where one of our heroes would have to chase after this stand, all while everything that could go wrong does. So that, guys, is Mississippi Queen, again submitted by Jesse Quast. That is going to be our winner. Let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork of Mississippi Queen. It is just really awesome, and he also makes a connection to the music. He says, the song Mississippi Queen is about a man falling in love with a sex worker, and although she teaches him a lot about love, he has to sacrifice quite a lot to make it work. The stand has horns to resemble a succubus, a creature quite alike the woman described in the song. So guys, Mississippi Queen is our winner of the stand contest. I thought the ability was just perfectly simple, not too complicated, and again, really interesting, and sparks a lot of creative thought on how a fight like that would actually happen. So the stand user has their target, they touch the person unknowingly, and then the person just sees the stand and they are just drawn to it, and they have an irresistible urge to follow it, and the stand will lead that person into rocky mountains, into volcanoes, into just anything that would lead the target to misfortune and potentially kill them. So I thought that stand was just really cool, and I would love to see a stand arc based around this. If any of you guys want to do that, if any of you guys are like aspiring mangakas, or any of you guys just really like creating comics and stories, that'd be another cool thing we could do for the winner of this stand contest. If any of you guys want to, you know, create an arc around this stand ability, maybe like, you know, 10 to 15 pages, I would totally do a video about that. So shout out to all you artists out there in mangaka. So that was Mississippi Queen. I would love to see an arc of that, and I could definitely imagine that in JoJo. And just the art itself, I really like how the stand was inspired by something else, and it was just, it really looked like a Rocky's art. I could definitely see that being a stand. And just Mississippi Queen, for whatever reason, this stand, I just felt like it had all of the elements that any stand in JoJo would. Jesse also included in their comments that they really took philosophy, they really took inspiration from Araki's philosophy and writing styles when writing stands, and I think they nailed it right on the head, and that is our winner, Mississippi Queen. So shout out to Jesse, congratulations on being the #1 winner of the OC stand contest. Like, it wasn't anything too powerful, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was just the perfect amount of bizarreness and the perfect subtlety to have a winner right here. So Mississippi Queen, congratulations, I think you nailed this one. So guys, those were our third, second, and first place winners. Congratulations to everyone who won, but now we have 9 more stands to go through, and honestly, any one of these could have been in that top 3 spot. They were all so good, so let's briefly go over these. Our first one is Virtual Insanity, submitted by Slor Bidifi. So pretty much, he just took inspiration from the video of Virtual Insanity, if you guys have ever seen that. I'll play some of the video now. It can make surfaces move in a single direction according to the whim of the user. This can be imagined like having any surface move like a treadmill would. The effective range is 10 meters, and the user has no limits as how many objects he can control, and the maximum speed is 30 miles per hour that a surface can move at. So I really like Virtual Insanity. That was another really great ability that I thought took inspiration from media, and that one I just really liked, although that is kind of reliant on my love for the song Virtual Insanity. Next up, we have Hotel California, in reference to Hotel California by the Eagles, submitted by Kanisha Bray. So this ability, it takes the form of a like massive hotel, and it just like people are just kind of drawn into entering it. So once you enter it, inside the hotel are things like casinos and just a bunch of entertainment spots that you would find in a hotel that just sort of distract, you know, the people that are being affected by it. of their current objective or anything like that. So let's read the ability. Once you go inside, it seems like time has stopped. It will provide rooms to distract you and keep you from leaving. Once the person begins to want to have the feeling of leaving, the hotel has more power and will more and more show more rooms and more things that you might like in order to keep you to stay. So I could really see this in like Stardust Crusaders. Like, just imagine a giant hotel where the Crusaders are like, oh, let's stay at this hotel for the night, and then for like 15 chapters we just have all the Crusaders just like getting in crazy bizarre encounters in the hotel, and they just can't leave it. And by the end, it doesn't like directly say that it's a stand. They're just like, huh, there was something really weird about that hotel. I could totally imagine that in a actual arc of JoJo. Another honorable mention, we have American Idiot in reference to the song by Green Day submitted by Antbite. So what American Idiot does is that it's pretty much fake news The Stand. It affects social media and anyone on a cell phone, tablet, or computer. And if you're on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, The Stand can inject things into your timeline, and when you read it, you will believe it as absolute truth no matter what. So either like, a famous politician, or just someone famous has passed away, or there's like a virus outbreak in your country, or there's a zombie apocalypse, whatever The Stand decides to inject into your timeline, you will automatically accept that as truth. So I really liked American Idiot. It was kind of similar to what was the third place winner? New World Man's User, but this one was really cool how it worked with technology and made you just believe everything is truth. Next up, we have Groundhog Day, submitted by Jacob Cohen. So originally when I first read this, I was like, oh yeah, Groundhog Day, like Edge of Tomorrow, that would be a really cool ability. But then I remembered Bites the Dust is kind of like Groundhog Day, but I really like the ability he gave. So the way that this one works is that it's kind of like Notorious B.I.G., that it only activates and the user only knows that they're a stand user after their death. So once the user dies, the stand will activate and Groundhog Day will rewind exactly 1 day. And the user will retain all of the memories, and they'll be able to change their fate, and they'll be able to not die because they know how they're going to die. So I thought Groundhog Day was a really cool one in reference to the film with Bill Murray, of course. So it's like you die, boom, your stand activates. So it pretty much makes you immortal unless you die of just natural causes or old age. You'd just be able to, always be changing your fate. So Groundhog Day was a great submission. I thought that one was really, really creative while also taking inspiration from Western media. Next up, we have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, submitted by Athena. This is in reference to the Japanese post-hardcore band that goes by the same name. I didn't know of this band. I had to look them up. I thought it was in reference to the film, but it's not. So this ability exploits the saying that walls have ears too. So the user can touch any object and it can hear what people have said around there. So say you're doing like a spy mission or anything like that, and you know that people were talking inside a room, the stand is able to touch the walls and then be able to hear the words that were said in that room. So I really like stands that go off sayings like, walls have ears too. So that was Athena's submission with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It also had a bunch of other stuff like defensive capabilities and also some offensive stuff, but just that ability I thought was really interesting. Next up, we have Material Girl in reference to the song by Madonna, submitted by Jordy Costello. So Material Girl is cool. It kind of works as like a bank. So it can touch any inanimate object and change its worth, as if it could take something that's not very valuable and add, value to it, or something that's super valuable, like a diamond or jewelry. It can suck the value away from it and store the value within the stand, which makes the stand more powerful and more powerful within the more value it sucks from objects. So the stand could just get super physically powerful by sucking the value away from things, but it also works as a bank, as it can distribute the value among things. Like I could pick up, this JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Blu-ray, which is already like a $70 value that I'm giving away for free to you guys. And I can like make it super valuable, super rare, and make this thing worth like $10,000 depending on how much stored value my stand had. So that was Material Girl. This one was really cool, man. This one was like so close to making it into the top 3. So that was Jordy Costello's reference. Next up, we have Ava Marie, submitted by Safe by Voice Actor. Ava Marie creates a 15-meter area of effect where So pretty much you have the stand and then you have the 15-meter area of effect, and it uses its ability called Sanctuary. When anyone enters this effect, they will not be affected by environmental harm, self-harm, harm inflicted by others. It pretty much just sustains you, but it also doesn't heal you. So if you enter Sanctuary while you're already injured, it won't heal you at all. It'll just sustain you and keep you alive. And anyone inside that tries to inflict damage will have the damage they tried to inflict afflicted upon their self once they exit Sanctuary. So say say, you know, two characters that are fighting go into Sanctuary, they won't be able to hurt each other at all, but if someone punches something, no one will feel damage, but once Sanctuary is deactivated or they leave, that damage will be affected onto the person that tried to inflict that. So Sanctuary was really cool, and Ava Marie also had some great artwork with it as well. Next up, we have the stand Aha, submitted by Justin Stone in reference to the band known for Take On Me. So this ability is really simple. The description was literally just 2 paragraphs. That's it right there at the bottom. That is the stand submission. But I really like this one. So it has the ability to manipulate people's perception as if it was like a slider on a 3DS. So if you guys have ever played with a 3DS before and you use the 3D slider, if you stare at the 3D for too long, it can give you massive headaches and really make you like nauseous, or it just pretty much duplicates everything. So what you're seeing right now, imagine you're seeing double of it, just slightly to the left or right, or, you know, up or down. So that one just distorts people's vision, can make them sick and nauseous from looking at like a 3D image for too long. So that one was really cool. That was Aha, and the artwork was great too. And now this is going to be our last honorable mention for the stand contest. It is Paint It Black in reference to the song by the Rolling Stones, and this one was submitted by Paul Cruz. Paint It Black is a cartoon-based stand comprised of black ink. It can distort reality and make the user subject to cartoon logic and cartoon physics in order to protect the user, i.e. Tom and Jerry damage physics. So this one's really cool. It just takes the form as like black ink, and it can make you do pretty much anything you see in cartoons. If you've ever seen the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit, think of it as being able to control the laws of reality in that world. So Paint It Black, it's a little bit longer than that, but it was still just a really great submission. That was pretty much the basic idea of the stand. So those were all my honorable mentions and the top 3 winners. There were so many, guys. It's just so crazy. Let's go over the most popular ones. So there was a lot of stands with repeat abilities. The top like 3 most popular abilities by far were dream manipulation, being able to make people hallucinate or go into a dream world and make them see like their greatest fears. There was probably, honestly, like 50 to 100 stands that had to do with that. Another really popular ability was emotional manipulation, being able to make people sad or happy or extremely depressed or just in a neutral state. That was, I want to say, like another 200 of those were emotional manipulation. And the last really common ability I found was stands being able to shift between the 3 stages of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. There was probably, again, like 200, maybe even 300 stands with that ability. Some were like variants of each other, but like by the time I would read those, I would be like, oh my gosh, not another one. But a lot of them were still really creative and had great artwork. So I think that is going to wrap up the 100,000 subscriber stand contest. Again, thank you to everyone for participating. This was so much fun. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And I think this was the perfect way to celebrate this amazing milestone of 100,000 like-minded people coming together and enjoying something they love and just spreading, you know, love and positivity in a great community. And this was just beautiful. I'll try right now to show as much artwork I can from the contest. There was so much amazing art. You guys are so talented. I will try to upload all of these to a Google document or some sort of website, an Imager maybe, where you guys can look at all of the art all the submissions that I read that had art that I saved. Unfortunately, I can't find a reasonable way to link all of the artists, although I want to, because this was done through email, and I know a lot of people don't want their email address shown, and not a lot of people provided their Twitter or anything like that. So just feel free to comment what stand was yours or anything like that if you see, if any of your artwork pops up on stream or on the video now. But of course, I don't think I'll have enough time to show all of it. All that will be linked down below in the description. So thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers and for submitting all of your creative stands. It was just so much fun doing this. And I'm kind of glad it's over, because for the past like 3 weeks now, my entire channel has been revolving around the 100,000 subscriber celebration. Now we can get back into our normal JoJo videos. And I have some other videos planned too, so hopefully you guys are excited for all that. Thank you guys so much again. I will talk to you guys very soon, and have a great day. Okay, bye-bye everyone.